And welcome to Hero Power. I am your
That
host.
just doesn't get old.
I am your host, Avantes, and as always, I am joined by my co-hosts, Zeroshio.
I look so goofy in that intro. If you're listening to us on iTunes, you gotta at least go over to herepowerhs.com and at least watch our video intro. It's a lot of fun, and the music's of course amazing.
And Versika.
I love watching Zero Show in the intro.
Yeah, I know. There's some great moves. He dances in his chair. It's hilarious.
I love it. It just wouldn't be the same intro if you were not doing those things. It would just the music would be the only fun part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is our post BlizzCon show. I was saying before the show, I was like, man, it feels like BlizzCon happened like 2 weeks ago, not, 4 days ago.
Not for me.
I feel like I've been talking about this news nonstop forever. I'm so excited about it. So we're going to cover some of that with you. We're going to talk about when we're having the Hero Power Championship tournament, and we're going to talk about the new Twitch Prime promotion tonight. So lot to get into. But first, we have a listener email.
Uh-oh.
So
For once, we don't know what it is.
yeah, I've kind of
Monty's
kept
has
this one
it
secret from both
us.
the guys.
So,
So, as the title of the email says, stay a while and listen.
Oh yeah.
nice.
Hello, I've heard you like stories, so I have one for you. A couple years ago, I was trying out this new game that was in its alpha phase called Heroes of the Storm. Here I am, minding my own business, and there's this Kerrigan on the opposing team just flat crushing us. She tore through us time and time again, and it seemed there wasn't much anybody could do to stop it. I popped out of the game, waited a few minutes to let the team I was on go back in before I readied up. This time, I was on the same team as that Kerrigan, but I had no idea what I was in for. See, I play nothing but healers in any game I play. So having played against this monster, I decided I would stick with it this time. We laid absolute waste against the opposing team. Time and time again, this Kerrigan found people hiding in bushes, around corners shrouded in the fog of war, easily the most aggressive player I have ever played with at the time. We went in over and over again. I healed and Kerrigan killed. Heroes died, and then they just started running. I had never felt so powerful. I made the friend request instantly after the match, and we played together many times throughout the alpha, but didn't really see each other again until the game went live. We put the team back together and have struck fear through many a player in the Nexus. That player was Versika. Fast forward to 3 weeks ago, and many Heroes matches in between us, and I'm in this online Hearthstone tournament and run up against this SOB playing this pain-in-the-ass Mother May I shaman. It's Versika, and I couldn't have been more surprised. When I saw the name, I sent a message and was like, I had no idea you played Hearthstone. His response was, dude, I have a podcast about it, and we just recorded our 100th episode. How do you not know this? Anywho, I expected to see this super aggressive, in-your-face shaman, much like the Kerrigan I remember from so long ago, but instead had to play 2 games in which I was shut down with everything I tried to do. By the end of the second game, I had pretty much just given in to the fact that I was at his mercy and just begging for him to put me out of my misery. I died to lava and lightning in epic fashion. I remembered at that moment what it was like getting torn up by the Queen of Blades the last time I sat opposite Versika, and came to the conclusion I'm either on his team or I ain't playing. So that's my story. Versika said you guys like stories and emails, so I told him I'd send one in and had forgotten for a minute. I listened last week, but I'm going to go back and catch up on a few during my vacation at the end of the month. Hope you guys enjoyed BlizzCon, and hope you guys are looking forward to all the new content for Hearthstone and Heroes as much as I am. In the meantime, I vote to permaban Versika from ever playing Easy Big Easy Shaman again. See you in the end, DJ.
I second that vote, DJ, because
So-
I have lost to that deck many, many times.
Yeah, thank you for the email, DJ. I doubt you will find anyone here who disagrees with you on any of the points mentioned above.
Very true.
And actually, if you're listening to this, thank you for finally sending the email in. It only took a month of prodding, but Avantes knows your pain well, because Avantes and I have been playing games together for a long time, and Avantes usually mains a healer, and I'm usually the guy running in, and he's chasing behind me, throwing heals, and just pounding his keyboard, and sweat coming out, and so he feels your pain.
Been there, done that. So, all right. Well, like I said, we've got a lot to talk about today in the news, and we're going to start with the Hero Power Championship Tournament. So, for those of you who, like DJ, might be new, we've been running a year-long tournament series for our patrons. Anyone who is a $5 and up patron gets automatic entry into the tournaments if they so choose. We ran one in January, one in April. And one in August.
Mm-hmm.
And we have taken the top 2 winners from each, and they will be joined by 2 other players to participate in the Hero Power Championship that will take place on December the 9th.
Yes. So we don't know when, and we'll talk about this a little bit more in our next topic. We don't know when the next set's going to drop. We know it's going to be in December. We're speculating that it'll either be the weekend before our tournament or the weekend after. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we were really trying to shoot for the 2nd, but there was just a lot of stuff that kept coming up, and we would continue to schedule it for the 2nd, and then more stuff would come up, and it just wasn't going to be feasible. So the earliest we'll be able to run it will be December the 9th. That is a Saturday. If you're already qualified, mark your calendars, and we're going to have some fun. So
it gives you a month to get ready.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
A month to prep, starting now. So
and they start releasing cards, next week?
November 20th.
The 20th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just keep an eye out on the cards and start kind of theory crafting a little bit, just in case the set does drop. But
that's right.
Yeah.
The holidays.
Yep.
All
Holiday
right.
months. It does it to you.
So it will be just like the other tournaments, conquest format, standard. So you'll bring 4 decks, ban 1, play best 3 out of 5. So
Yep.
all right, that brings us to the BlizzCon updates.
Woo!
So there was this little small indie company had a little get together in Southern California this past weekend. You guys may not have heard about it, small indie companies and all. But,
Did y'all get to watch BlizzCon live?
Some of it.
I watched both days, just about every panel. So, and then I watched whatever panels I didn't watch. I watched on Sunday.
I had to watch the University of Tennessee win at least one game this season.
Yeah, I had to watch everything on about a day delay because I had a function, a very important function to go to Friday. So I did miss pretty much all of Friday. So I caught up on Friday's announcements on Saturday and Saturday's announcement on Sunday, and then all the extra stuff I snuck in yesterday and Monday. So
I love it. Inked is already trash talking in chat about the tournament.
He'll cut a promo in his car. He's really good at that.
Nice.
So, all right, well, awesome. Glad you guys got to catch up on it and see most of it. I know Versika missed Saturday, but yeah. So we had a few tournaments. Of course, if you have been listening, then you know that the Hearthstone World Championship has been moved to January, and will be taking place in Amsterdam. So, in lieu of that, Blizzard held the Hearthstone Invitational, and there was four teams of 3 players participating, and our winners were the Grime Street Grifters, which was Kranich, Reynad, and Pathra. And let me tell you, if you guys didn't watch any of this, you should go back and check it out, because I don't even know if it was the finals or not, but the match between the Grime Street Grifters and Dog and Naviut's team was phenomenal.
You're talking about the elimination one when they lost 3, they had to leave stage?
Yes.
That was the final. So basically, what the invitational was, you had your 4 teams of 3, and you pretty much the who's who of streaming in pro Hearthstone, and they had a standard round where they did a round robin. They had a wild round, and then they did a special event, which we'll talk more about, the dungeon crawl, which is a feature in the new set that's coming out. And then that led to a pre-constructed style deck that was a Highlander style, was the last round before they went into the grand finals. And then the grand finals, as Avanti's mentioned, was the Grime Street Grifters and the Chill Blade Crusaders, I think is what they were called.
I believe that's correct, yes.
It was Dog, Naviut, and RDU.
Yeah.
The attractive team. The hot guys team, as some people call them. And basically what happened is you played your various matches, and when you lost 3 times, you were out. Your team had to play all 9 classes, and each player played 3 different classes. And when you were out, you had to leave stage.
Yes. So that means the first person out, it became 3 versus 2.
Mm-hmm. So, because they could work their plays together as long as they were all 3 on stage, and fairly quickly, Pathra was eliminated. I think they eliminated 1 person. I believe it was Navi.
Nope.
No, it was RDU.
It was Pathra was eliminated.
Yeah.
Followed by Reynad was eliminated.
Was Reynad second?
Yep.
Okay.
So it left only Kranich versus RDU,
all 3,
Naviut, and Dog. And what happened next is legendary.
Well, RDU ends up getting eliminated by Kranich, and Dog makes the comment, "Wow, it'd be hilarious if he reverse swept to beat and knocked us all out." And Naviut says, "No, it wouldn't." And so, what was it? Kranich ended up going 5-1 because Pathra and Reynad had defeated him a couple times, but not eliminated them. So he went 5-1 to reverse sweep the Chillblade Crusaders and win the Invitational. It was really awesome.
It was some of the most epic Hearthstone I've ever seen played. And I mean, I think Matt at Arms said it best in chat. Let's be honest, the Grime Street Grifters didn't win that tournament. Kranich did.
So what's really funny is Reynad made the comment that Kranich just has to hang on for the ride while him and Pathra takes all the wins. So it couldn't be any further from the truth. And then, so Reynad kind of had to eat some crow there. And then, secondly, there were times where the casters would turn on the microphones of the teams and see what thoughts or process they were going through. So at one point, they went, "Well, let's see what the Grime Street Grifters are thinking about this play." And they flip over to the mic, but it's just Kranich. So he's not talking to anybody. And basically you just get dead air and you hear the crowd laughing because, they can hear that there's dead air, and it was really funny. I think it was done really well. I like the fact I was worried that not having an HCT would make Hearthstone esports at BlizzCon basically obsolete, it's just going to be gone. But the fact that we had the Invitational, which is basically the who's who of Hearthstone, and then moving on to our next news is we had the Tavern versus Tavern Grand Finals. And this is the opposite of who's who. This is more of kind of the tavern heroes. They're, of course, a team of 3 players that are competing. And
They're
some of
not
these
all
names are
unknown.
no, they're not all unknown. But a little less
Razor Store SF had Shoop playing for them. So
there were some known names, but you had some unknown names that have kind of came out of that. Believe on Razor Store SF, and the finals were Razor Store SF and the Cave, and I think they had Chan. Is it Chan Lee?
Who?
The female player.
Chandyland.
Yeah, Chandyland. That's it. Chandyland. She is a. I've seen her in a couple places. She's a very detailed deck builder, but she's not so much on the competitive side.
She has made it to HCT before, though.
Yes, she has. She has made it to HCT, but the champions of the Tavern versus Tavern was the Cave out of Fairfax.
And I would just like to point out that during the first round of the tournament, Knoxville was playing the Cave. The winner of our match would take our group. We went up on them 5 game, or what was it? 2 wins, 2 wins, 4-2 after 2 rounds. So we only needed 1 win to take the match, and their boys came out and swept us in the 3rd round to take the match. It was that close to us eliminating them. So they practiced and practiced. We had a great interview with Wava, who was the innkeeper for Fairfax, over on the Innkeepers podcast this past Monday, talking about his win. If you guys saw that box that Jason Chase gave him on stage,
yes,
you open that box up, and the inside of the box is completely signed by all of Team 5.
Oh, that is so cool. But so you're saying the Knoxville Level Up team can claim that we almost defeated the champions of the Tavern versus Tavern.
Yeah, and I already told Wava we're coming for him next year, so he's expecting it.
Nice.
So, all right. One of the other
big news,
good announcements was everybody got free stuff just for BlizzCon. And if you don't know what that is, or you haven't logged into Hearthstone since this past Monday, there is a new card available named Marin the Fox. He is an 8-mana 6/6 with a battle cry of summon a treasure chest on your opponent's side. It is a 0/8 that when you destroy it has a death rattle of give your opponent a fantastic treasure. So obviously with it being on your opponent's side, when you destroy it, you get the treasure.
Yes.
So there's 1 of 4 possible treasures out of the box. You can get, they all cost 3 mana. You can get Toland's Goblet, which is draw a card, fill your hand with copies of it, which is fun. I've gotten that one.
Shenanigans.
For days. You can get the Wondrous Wand, which is draw 3 cards. They all cost 0.
Right.
There is Zerog's Crown, which is discover a legendary minion, summon 2 copies of it, which I have already seen a video with shenanigans. Guys dying, losing. He's down to 4 health, plays Zerog's Crown, gets to discover. He plays it, and I think he had, it was in Wild, and I think he had, I don't know how he did it. He discovers 2 cards. He may have had 2 Zerog's Crowns because he was playing Shaman. That's what it was. He was playing Shaman. He played the card that destroy a minion, resummon it. Resurrected the
very
chest.
Popular.
So he had 2 Zerog's Crowns. The first one, he gets Malagos. Out of the so he gets 2 Malagos on the board. The second one, he gets Halazeal.
Nice.
and then drops Crackle for like 32. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, sounds like
was,
that game I had with DJ.
Yeah, it was a
Wasn't
Crackle
that
for
Dane?
16, but he healed for 32.
I think it was Dane that did
It
that.
It was Dane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dane's a good streamer. I had one where I got Deathwing Dragonlord, and they promptly did amazing, and then he just proceeded to twisting the other of my board. So then I dropped Nazoth. He conceded.
Nice.
But if you now remember, it is Discover, so it's going to weight class cards and neutral. You're not going to get other class cards. So you do this in Hunter, you have a chance of getting 2 King Crushes and going straight to face for 16.
Yes. Yeah. All kinds of shenanigans.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
then
fun.
the 4th card that you can get out of it is the Golden Kobold.
Yes.
It's a 6/6 minion with taunt. Battle cry, replace your hand with legendary minions.
And it wants to be the golden monkey, but it's a kobold.
No, the golden monkey wants to be the kobold. I've already seen the meme of the golden monkey, and the guy hits the button that says upgrade, and you get the
Turns
golden
into the
kobold, and he's
kobold.
like, oh god, no, back.
Nice. So talking about kobolds, what else was announced
Nothing.
at BlizzCon? Nothing.
That was it. We're done. Great show, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Oh, wait, no. There
Why
was
do
a
I
new
even
set.
segue?
There was a new set.
Do you even segue, bro?
You not take candle.
You're gonna burn your hair off,
You not take candle.
and ratings will go through the roof.
I have a flat head. It'll stay all night.
Yeah, and you're making me real nervous. Oh, the new set is Pirates vs. Ninjas.
No, except not.
Oh, okay. So everybody was wrong. No pirates. It is not pirate themed. It isn't even nautical themed. It is kobolds and catacombs. You know, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, except not.
Yeah, except kind of.
So you are basically, the theme of the set is you're delving into a dungeon and going through the catacombs. Kind of like Dead Mines. I would have liked to see a Dead Mines theme dungeon, but I'm happy with this. Basically, they have some new mechanics they announced for this new set. The first one being recruit. And what the keyword recruit means is it just pulls a minion from your deck.
Summon a random minion from your deck.
But it may have to meet specific guidelines, like recruit a minion that costs 4 or less, or recruit, it might have a tribe, who knows.
It's just Barnes.
Yeah.
The way it pulls the card.
And I actually have a question I may have to try to get an answer to as to whether or not they're going to change the wording on Barnes to say recruit.
But
no, because he doesn't actually pull it out of your deck.
He
just pulls a copy.
Oh, okay.
A 1/1 copy of a card in your
deck. The closest to recruit would be like Yasharj.
Yeah.
At the end of the turn, recruits.
Yasharj recruits. Okay.
Or Madame Goya, where she
swaps places though.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a recruit for a cost. So I'm excited to see how they do this. So far, the cards, they're theming them like adventurers that are going down into the catacombs seeking riches and loot. So it'll be really neat. This is kind of how they put other minions into the game that aren't kobolds. Now, majority of the minions so far that we've heard about, there's only been 13 cards revealed, are kobolds, but they're not tribed as kobolds. So you're not going to have any kind of synergies. But
Chad is saying that Peter Whalen already said that Yasharj is not getting the keyword.
Yeah. And I can understand that. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if you'd call it recruiting. Plus, there may be specific cards that seek out recruit cards. And you wouldn't want people just to grab Yasharj that way. I could understand that balance. The next thing, to me, this is one of the biggest news, is there is a new class-specific legendary weapons. Every class is getting a legendary weapon.
Yes, and they look awesome. I'm really excited.
Yes. So far, they've only shown 2 of them, the mage and the priest. And it's neat that those are no attack weapons with 3 durability. So you're probably going to see a lot of weapon hate.
Mm-hmm.
Dust off your Harrison Jones, because that's a guaranteed 3 cards drawn right there.
Harrison was watching BlizzCon salivating the whole time.
Oh yeah, Harrison is the one that sent Marin out to find treasure, because he's like,
Hey, wouldn't it be terrible if when they make the transition to Hall of Fame, they send Harrison packing?
No.
Think about it.
No.
Think about it.
No. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Put it down.
Don't do it, bro. Don't do it, bro.
Taste me. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Don't. If you're listening, bro, don't send Harrison to the museum, please.
That's a mighty fine dragon soul you've got there. I bet it belongs in a museum.
Yeah. So
I will say this though. I feel like they missed an opportunity there. The dragon soul could have been put with anybody, and is it anathema? Is that how you say the priest?
Yes.
Epic from way back in Vanilla WoW.
Yes.
That would have been a pretty cool.
Yeah, but if you think of Dragon Soul and the effect they decided to put on it, which is if you cast 3 spells in a turn, summon a 5/5 dragon.
Right.
Your primary dragon-based decks that's survived through the time since Blackrock Mountain is Priest.
I know.
So,
I don't like the whole class-specific themed part of Hearthstone. I was just trying to come up with something different.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I can see why they chose the Dragon Soul. But I'm excited. I really like these legendary weapons. I think it's going to bring new types of tech out, and that's really to me. I like it when sets bring older cards out as tech that haven't seen the light of day in a while. Now the next type of card is Spellstones. What a spellstone is basically it has a specific effect. So far, I think the examples they've had are 7 mana, and if you meet a specific requirement, the shaman one example was it's 7 mana, put a copy of a friendly minion, and summon a copy of a friendly minion.
Summon one copy of a friendly minion. Yes.
If you overload for 3, it upgrades to summon 2 copies. If you overload for another 3, a total of 6 overloaded mana crystals, you get to summon 3.
Yes.
And I think the druid one is gaining armor.
The druid one is only 1 mana to cast.
Yes.
And it's deal 2 damage to a minion, gain 3 armor, upgrade, deal 4 damage to a minion, gain 3 armor, deal 6 damage. So.
Yep. So it's kind of neat. It's kind of in line of like the Kazakus potions, where they based on mana costs or more, but these are based on situations that you do in game. I like that
they're flexible, because you can play it. You can play the first version, or you can wait and play the second version, or if you just haven't had a chance, or there's a good situation that crops up late game, then you can play the big one and just go to town.
Yep. I think it's really neat. It also gives the classes a little bit of class identity. Obviously, we haven't seen them all yet, so we don't know what identities that Blizzard has or Team 5 is sending us to, what direction. But so far, I think they're doing it right. I do like that they're focusing a little bit more on overloaded mana crystals again with Shaman, because I think that's a better identity than freezing, because that really didn't work.
Yeah. So,
Well, I mean, freezing has traditionally been beige. The shaman doesn't really deal with water I mean, on a normal basis. The mage has the water elemental. They have all the freezing spells. It just didn't make sense that they took shaman in that direction when nothing else has really come out that way. Like you've got Frostbolt from the classic or basic set. It just if you're going to do that to a class, you kind of gotta work it in over the span of a couple of different things. So if they continue with the Frost theme over the next couple of sets, then bringing it all in. I would like if they go Frost though or Water. I would like to see the Earth theme moved in there as well, because now you've got the fire and you've got the lightning. If you're going to do the water,
elemental.
Right?
Yeah, I would like to see
you've got an air elemental too, but you're not really working. The air is giving you wind fury, and that's about it. Yeah. So work some stuff in there. Well, I guess Maelstrom portal, I guess you could technically say is air, but I don't know. But I agree with Zeroshio. Overload is sort of where it's been, and if you're going to continue to corner classes into themes, go with themes that already have cards to back them up.
Yeah.
All right. That also brings us to the next type of new card that we're getting to see, and that's unidentified cards.
This is cool.
Basically, it will show up in your collection, and the example they gave us was a priest card called Unidentified Elixir. So basically, in your collection, it'll be a 3-mana spell called Unidentified Elixir. What it does is when you play it, it gives a minion +2/+2, and then gains a bonus effect after you draw it. So you won't know what that effect is until it's in your hand.
Yeah, they call it flavors. And I think the examples they gave were grape, peach, cherry, and something else, based on the color of the effect that the potion turned for that specific card. It's kind of cool. And the other examples they showed the card art for, one was, I think, a shield, and then the other one was it a weapon?
I think so.
It was all wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. And then the last thing they introduced...
Hold on, we're not going to talk about that.
About what?
Did you like that? Do you like that?
I do.
I
think it's great.
Stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. It really harkens to that RNG aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it gives it flavor.
Yeah, I don't care for having that in a constructed deck at all. In fact, it's probably going to make me really salty when I lose against somebody that gets it and manages to turn a game off some random effect. That just drives me nuts. I think that would have made a great Tavern Brawl. I think it would have made a great concept for a Tavern Brawl.
I think it'll be fun in Arena.
It'll be good in Arena, and it's not like it just has this plethora of choices. I believe they said it's only 4 different options. I don't think it's the same across all of the unidentified items, but for that specific card, it's 4 different choices. So it's like, do you happen to get one of the 4 that works in favor? And it's kind of like the Kazakus potion, where you might or might not get the damage, all 4 damage, or the polymorph. And if you do, it turns the tide. If you don't, then you probably weakened your deck some. I like that. Again, I do embrace a lot of the RNG factors in constructed that a lot of people don't.
Yeah. All right, so now the last part, and I'm not gonna lie, when they announced this, I turned to Versika, who was sitting beside me on the couch as we were watching BlizzCon, and I looked at him and said, I don't even care if they fix ladder now. I'm probably going to spend all of my time in solo missions.
Yep.
And the new solo adventure is dungeon runs or dungeon crawls. So basically the way this will work is you will select a class, and you'll be given a deck of 10 cards.
Mm-hmm.
They will then randomly generate a dungeon with 8 bosses out of a possible 48. So there's 48 bosses. Every time you start a dungeon run, they randomly generate a new dungeon of 8 bosses.
Oh yeah.
So you'll start against the first boss with your deck of 10 cards. Once you defeat that boss, you'll be given a discover mechanic with a set of 3 cards in each set. You'll pick one of those to add to your deck. Each one is a different archetype for your class.
Yep.
So it really is kind of gives you that option of, building on the go. You'll have just so many options. And then plus, you also get a status effect. Okay, you'll sometimes get a status effect where, like, going forward in the dungeon, all your minions get +1/+1 for the rest of the time. But the bosses get progressively harder as well.
Yes.
And if that wasn't enough, it's a roguelike adventure, meaning you only have 1 life. If you lose to a boss, you start all over at the beginning of a whole new dungeon with a whole new set of bosses. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this feature.
Yeah, they even said that one of the playtesters has done 200 runs and has attested that they have not done a run that's identical or feels the same as one of the other runs. And that makes me happy. Now, one big news in this is there's not going to be a progressive style reward. Like beating it, going all the way through dungeon, you're not going to get any kind of rewards as far as they've announced so far. The only reward that's tied to it is if you complete the full 8 bosses in a dungeon with all 9 classes, you'll get a unique card back.
That's correct.
But no pack rewards or portraits or anything like that. And the main reason they said they did this is because they didn't want it to feel like a requirement or a grind you had to do to build up your collection or anything like that. They wanted you to do the dungeons specifically because you want to have fun and you want to do the dungeons. And furthermore, the dungeons are completely free. When Kobolds and Catacombs comes out, you will have access to the dungeon, whether you buy packs, open packs, it doesn't matter. You're going to have access to it.
I feel like they missed a little bit of the boat here because one of the things that we talked about is either last week or the week before was if you had $10, how would you fix Hearthstone? And we were talking about how much emphasis to put on the ladder. I think casual mode is a non-factor right now. I think the same decks are present in casual as they are on the ladder for the most part.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You could have turned this into a legitimate casual mode where it's people not wanting to play ranked ladder play and get in here and do their quest and earn some packs this way, and that way they're not having to fight through these advanced players collections and all these meta decks that are running through casual. So I think it's a mistake to not tie packs to it in the same way that in laddering, you get 3 wins, you get 10 gold, or maybe at the end, if you make it all the way through the dungeon, you get a pack or something. Just so while honing their skills and building their collections, maybe they build up enough to feel like they can go onto the ladder. And I think it would pull some of the stress off having to fix the ladder for everybody if you had an alternative place to go.
Yeah. Okay, so I like the fact that they're not giving progressive rewards for it, because I don't want it to be a place where your tryhards go and grind to get more packs and things like that. But that being said, I would love if they added an achievement in there. The first time you ever you defeat the 8th boss, you get a pack. Or after so many times of defeating the final boss, you get, a gold reward, 100 gold for every 3 or 4 eighth bosses you go through. Some kind of achievement that you get one time. It's not a quest that you can get for trying that mode out. But then once you get it, it's done. It's like getting the 100 wins or getting the 300 wins on in play mode. Once you get that reward, it's an achievement and you're finished.
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm excited for this. We'll see once it comes out. So they gave packs as rewards plus a hero portrait for Knights of the Frozen Thrones solo mode. It didn't do anything. It didn't incentivize me to finish it. I've still not finished it. And
I could care less.
I don't know that packs are worthwhile reward for doing solo missions. Maybe it's just me.
Well, it's one of those things where the solo mission, you're only going to get those packs one time. Yeah. So it's like, is the time spent worth, the investment of time worth what I'm getting out of it? The Arthas portraits at the end of that adventure, to me, having that portrait, getting that portrait isn't worth the investment of time that it's going to take me to win the encounter. So I spend it elsewhere. And that's...
And just to cut in on you on that, for me, it is 100% worth it, because to me, it's a status symbol that I have the Arthas portrait because I defeated that solo content on its hardest difficulty.
I got it.
And that's why I'm probably going to push for the card back, because to me, while they don't have heroic modes anymore, that's me saying I completed this on the highest difficulty. It's my heroic accomplishment for these new solo modes, and I like it.
Okay, and that's fine. Yeah, and that's the difference between the two of us. I don't seek that reinforcement.
I do all the time.
Yeah, and that's
why we always have to tell Zoroshio how great he did on the show after we go off the air. You guys don't see that.
Nope.
And
compliment me.
That's not a knock on Zoroshio. It's just some people, they need that positive reinforcement. It drives them to become better. For me, I do that to myself, so I don't need it. So those types of rewards don't appeal to me because I look at it as a time versus reward. That's, so you've got two sides of this Hearthstone population, and you got to try to find that way to kind of balance between them. And the reason that I went down this little side road is that we talked about needing to fix the ladder and needing to get it done. This, I think, if they had gone in this direction and provided a legitimate side, a legitimate ladder alternative that would keep people able to keep coming back and doing their quests and stuff like that, it takes some of the pressure off getting the ladder fixed now. So maybe you can take the Blizzard soon TM approach and take your time and fix it the way they want to fix it.
That is probably my number one gripe for BlizzCon for Hearthstone this year. I think BlizzCon as a whole was very, very good. I enjoyed it more than it just being an esports gala as it has been in the past. But the one thing that I think they missed the mark was they announced Kobolds and Catacombs. They brought up very slyly in a very quick mention of something else they're working on, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. And then that's all they said anything about. Even their Q&A seemed to almost be weeded out so that none of the difficult questions were asked. Now, I don't know if they did it on purpose or if nobody just was asking those questions. But last year, they actually took questions from Twitter, and they had somebody actually up there reading questions from Twitter and Reddit. They didn't do that this year. They only took live questions. It was a very short panel, and they really didn't talk about anything other than Kobolds and Catacombs and a very quick announcement / brief mention of arena changes, which we'll talk about in just a moment.
Well, we're not going to go deep into those because we've gone so long on this other stuff.
Yeah, we're not going to talk deep. And I'll mention it real quick. They basically, before the Q&A, showed some arena specific cards that are going to be brought in for a limited time event. It's not even full to fix arena, just a limited time event, and they're letting the community vote on those. And that was it. That's all they said about arena.
If you want to see the cards that were chosen, I'll put a link in the show notes. You can see that tomorrow.
That was pretty much it. Now, aside from that and the Hearthstone news, was there anything else non-Hearthstone about Blizzard that you guys enjoyed?
Yes.
Oh yeah, there was a few.
Yeah.
I mean, the new WoW expansion cinematic was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job with it. It looks like they're going back to their roots.
Yes.
So, and speaking of roots, they did announce too that they're going to be bringing back a WoW vanilla server.
Yes.
So
I'm excited for that.
You know, that's cool. They did announce the 2 new Heroes of the Storm heroes that are going to be coming out next, and that's Hanzo and Alexstrasza. So that's really cool for the heroes.
Overwatch got Moira and
a new Overwatch hero.
A quick story. I'm watching the announcement, and of course my wife is sitting on her computer. She's not really paying too much attention, but she hears, "Would you want a Blizzard theme park?" I have never seen her spin around her chair so fast, and she gave me a point like, "I don't care what we got to do, we're going." and before I could really explain to her that this is the Overwatch announcement,
before you could rein her in,
they're like, "Our new map, the Blizzard theme park," and the utter disappointment in her face. I almost just wanted to take her out and buy her ice cream at that moment because she looked so sad that there was not going to be a Blizzard theme park. And one thing that stood out for me that I really enjoyed was StarCraft 2. Now, I love StarCraft 2, but the esports part has always really... It's basically you get 8 Korean players, and we see who's the best Korean player. This year, they did a format so that you had representatives from all over the world. Now, while the grand finals was 2 South Korean players, you had great representatives from the United States, Europe. I think there was one from Brazil that didn't make it, but he make it into the top 16, but he competed. And it was really refreshing to see that in the StarCraft community because you saw different types of play instead of just Zerg versus Zerg the entire time.
Yeah. So, a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff came out of this past weekend.
Speaking of good stuff.
Speaking of good stuff, if you are a Twitch Prime member and you haven't logged in today, you need to go redeem today's new Hearthstone reward because everybody gets a pack of classic cards.
Yay!
Oh, yeah. They're all golden.
Oh, yeah. I got a Golden King Crush.
Yeah, that just means I'm not getting anything because Zeroshio took all the all the Hero Power host luck.
I took it all.
Mine was total garbage. Total garbage.
But I have not opened my pack yet. So stay tuned for the end of the show. Because after the play portion, I will open my pack live on air.
Nice.
So, all right. Today's Tavern Brawl is a repeat. It is the Great Summoner Competition. Standard format only. Summoners from across the world have come to compete. When you cast a spell, a random minion of the same cost is summoned for you. So obviously you want to build your deck around your spells and let the RNG embrace you and hug you and summon your minions for you.
And
but I didn't quite do that.
I net decked a mage deck and did it one shot.
See, I did not net deck. I built my own mage deck. I built my own mage deck with mana worms and cobble lackeys and
Cobble.
That was just for you guys, by the way. And then secrets, and I kind of played a variant of secret mage.
Little pieces of my soul die every time.
Look, I'm not going to name names, but I work with a guy who can't say Roku. He calls it a Roku, and I die laughing every time.
It's like somebody I know that says Paschetti. I'm like, spaghetti. Paschetti,
Yeah.
that's what I said.
Yeah.
My mom
that's
can't
not
say
what you said.
burger. I never wanted to eat burgers as a kid because they were always boogers.
Yeah.
Do I want a booger?
All right. So anyway.
I killed another conversation.
Go play the Tavern Brawl. Get your pack. It's fun. All right. That brings us to this week's deck analysis. Now, we had originally talked about playing some decks with Marin in it, just because it was new, and it's gonna be fun.
It's too new.
So Zeroshio was like, I'm having a lot of fun with this Warlock Zoo deck if you guys want to check it out. And we're like, okay, let's play some Zoo. We haven't played Zoo in a while.
And I might try to whip out a Marin deck next week. I just haven't had enough time to flesh one out that's good. So far, they're just all meme, no dream.
So, all right. Well, this week's deck is, as we said, a Warlock Zoo. So I'm going to run down the deck list and then turn it over to Zeroshio to just kind of talk about it, how it plays. It's 2 Acaris Veteran, 2 Bloodcell Corsair, 2 Firefly, 2 Flame Imp, 2 Malkazar's Imp, 1 Mortal Coil, Patches the Pirate, because you can't play Zoo without Patches.
Yes.
All right, now.
2 Soulfires, and 2 Voidwalkers. So right there, half of your deck is 1 mana cost minions and spells.
Yep.
Then you have Prince Keleseth. You have Darkshire Councilman. You have 2 Darkshire Councilmans. You have 2 Vicious Fledglings, 2 Saronite Chain Gang, 2 Despicable Dreadlords, 2 Doom Guards, 2 Bone Mares, and a Blood Reaver Gul'dan. Now, first off, after the half deck of 1s, it really ramps up in mana cost.
Yeah.
Does this play like an aggro Zoo, or is it more like a tempo Zoo?
By looking at it, it looks like an aggro zoo, and I came out the gate playing it like an aggro zoo, and quickly realized I can't play it like the aggro variant of zoo. However, when I first started playing zoo and got my first golden class, which was Warlock with zoo, I played that version of zoo more like a tempo deck, where you make good trades and get that face damage when you can. Obviously, this has late game in the form of Doom Guards, Bone Mares, so that once you have a good solid ground of the board, you can then afford to make some value trades and go face with your big minions and get that solid damage in. So you kind of have to tempo yourself out, but really you could change gears throughout the game, which is really neat with this deck, is the fact that you can start out going aggro, switch to tempo, and then maybe switch back to aggro again. It's all about just deciding whether you're the beatdown or you're on the defense. And you, like I said, you can switch it up. I'm having really good success with it. I'm at a 76% win rate with it right now, with a fairly low games played count. But it's doing really well for me right now.
Awesome. All right. Cool. Well,
any thoughts for Sika?
I've only played it 3 and 4. It struggles with the token shaman.
Mm-hmm. It does,
and it struggles with the Razakis priest, but most things struggle with Razakis priest. Everything else, I feel like it's an even match. So if you're looking for a solid deck to ladder, it's a solid deck. I guess really can't really think of anything I would trade out for anything else. You pretty much need everything in the list. It all kind of works together. So
Yeah, I could say with the Rosakas Priest matchup, you want to prioritize Gul'dan. You don't want to discard him at all because you kind of need that offset damage of 3 damage and 3 heal
yeah,
to offset the combo, the chainy combo that they can get throughout towards the latter end of the game.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm ready to flip over and play some games. Do you guys have any last minute thoughts you want to talk about before we leave and go play some? Zeroshio?
No, I just want to reiterate that we have the best community. Hearthstone, especially the Hearthstone podcast community of not just the podcasters, but the listeners and supporters of podcasts. I did have I talked about it last week. I had a recent death of a close friend, and everybody came out of the woodwork to show me support and have a lending ear. And I just want to thank everybody in the Hearthstone community. This is the best community when it comes to firesides, BlizzCon, online events, leagues. We just have the best community in gaming, in my opinion. And just keep up the great work, guys.
Yeah. Versika?
the pre-order is out, so $50 net you the card back and the packs. So
That's right.
it'll be a month before you know it. Time will go fast. Go ahead and get that pre-order down because it's just going to get harder to pay out that money as we get closer to Christmas. So
That's very
Yep.
true. Very, very true. My shout out this week is to a fellow podcaster. If you guys don't know Spivey from 1600 Dust, you should check out his show. First of all, it's great. And second of all, he is a fantastic member of the community.
Mhm.
And if you have not heard about his most recent adventures in Reddit, you need to go check it out.
Yeah.
So, Spivey got a friend request after a game, which he won, and was greeted with the expected salt. But instead of coming back at the person, Spivey killed him with kindness and made a new friend. It's a great read. It shows you what the power of positivity can do, and I highly recommend you go look it up. Check out his Twitter. It is at Spivr, Spyvrr. And Spivey, if you're listening, thank you for being such a great member of the Hearthstone community.
And I do want to piggyback that. The entire 1600 Dust community, Matuna, CM Plumber, Chris, Spivey, Ziggy Sarah, and Ridiculous Hat. Those guys are, and of course Ziggy, are just awesome. They're just a great community. They just exude positivity.
yeah, somebody have to tell him where this is marked in the podcast because he hasn't listened past 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody have to let him know.
That's true. So, quick story before we do our outro. Chris actually did one of the Con Before the Storm panels, and at about the 20-minute mark, he tells Garrett, I don't know what to do. I've never been past 20 minutes. And that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So, all right, guys, if you are joining us on Twitch or YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening via our audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. Find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOgamers. If you'd like to help support and improve the show, or you would like to maybe take part in some of our discussions in our patron-only Discord, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power.
All right. I'm ready to play some Zoo.
You ready to play, or you ready to watch me play?
I'm ready to watch you play.
I figured as much.
I had unfortunately have been so busy at work this week, I have not gotten to build or play this deck yet. So,
Gotcha. Well, I am currently finding an appointment. Oh, go to no. I got a worthy opponent.
oh,
And I got a druid. They're not worthy. Come on now. I have been memeing and playing around, so I am at rank 10 and probably going to stay there for a little while I have fun with Marin and trying little different techs out. So we have Firefly, Malkazar's Imp, and Despicable Dreadlord. Pretty much anything that's not Prince Keliseth or a one cost, you're probably going to ditch if you don't have the coin. So I'm going to keep the Firefly and Malkazar's Imp and
okay.
pitch the Despicable Dreadlord. Thoughts?
I agree with that.
Yeah, sounds solid to me.
Matt at Arms in chat says I owe Zeroshio a Coke unless he wants to upgrade to a monster.
I will upgrade to a monster. I like that ultraviolet monster. It's pretty sweet. Zero sugar Cokes are the best. No zero sugar. Because they have aspartame. I'll drink anything with aspartame in it. Okay, so against
have viewers messaging me saying they're sabotaging the stream.
So against Druid, I think Flame Imp's the push.
Yeah, I agree.
I would normally Firefly, but Flame Imp will draw out possibly a Coin Wrath. He might try to chip away with his hero power, which would be great because that's damage to his face. And other than Wrath, there's really not much early that a Druid can do against a 2 health minion. Unless it's aggro Druid, of course, and then he can get the Enchanted Raven, which is a 2/2, and that would challenge it. But he's currently tabbed out, probably reading some Japanese mangas.
As you would
Watching.
say, he's hollering
Right.
up the stairs for his mom to make him a Hot Pocket.
Isn't that the Samsung card back?
That is a Samsung card back.
Yeah, he's on a mobile.
So
he
if
is
he's
on,
roping,
he might be wiping. A natural mistake. He dropped his phone in the toilet. Oh, and he is aggro. Okay, so I would have liked to seen a Voidwalker here. I think I like double Firefly and just go face. What do you guys think?
Why not the Imp?
We could do Imp.
Imp Firefly.
Since we have 2 of them, we could do
Firefly Imp, and maybe he'll be so scared of the Malkazar's Imp he might leave the Flame Imp up one.
It's possibly. I don't expect it, especially if we go face. He's gonna think, well, he doesn't have anything to discard. So the Despicable Dreadlord might actually get some work in here, since we're playing clearly an aggro-based Druid.
Probably token.
Oh yeah, definitely token. And as you see, I do have the Nimsy portrait. She is absolutely adorable.
Yeah, chat says you don't emote enough as Nimsy. You should emote more.
Oh yes. There we go. I'm kind of interested by the line he's taking. I'm surprised he values that Enchanted Raven so much, which makes me think he has a buff.
I'd Mortal Coil it first.
I like that. So the question is, do we chip away at this for 1?
Well, if you don't, it becomes a 2/3 if he buffs
Yeah.
it.
He can't buff it. It's not a beast.
No, but he can do a Mark of the Wild or
Lotus
Power of the
or
Wild.
whatever the 1 mana
Yeah, Mark
+1/+1
of
to
the
all
Wild.
minions.
Right, but we're not
Mark of
worried about
Lotus.
Mark of Usars. And if you run it into, he's just going to kill it next turn with his hero
Okay.
power. And
It's fair. Do we do the other imp and the flame elemental?
I think we tap.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's as good a time as any to tap.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We're not terribly pressured. On 5, I'll be kind of worried because of the possibility of living mana. That's kind of what I was worried
Boyd's
about.
asking, is this the standard net deck zoo?
Pretty much, and it's done really well for me.
See, I think here you put out the
Fledgling,
fledgling and the flame.
flame imp.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at
What-
Despicable
I was going to
Dreadlord.
say, what about playing the other imp and then next turn Doomguard and drawing 4 cards?
I think Despicable Dreadlord's better next turn, and we'll have
I do too.
the other imp then Doomguard.
Okay.
The problem is you're giving up your bone mare if you Doom Guard.
That's true. We'll just have to see what we draw into. You're going to give up something when you Doomguard. The trick is trying to make the value of the Doomguard better than what you discard. And if we happen to have the Malkazar imps out, the draws may offset that. Interesting. So he's
Going for a full
opting to
clear.
clear.
Yep.
Yeah. Which this isn't terrible going into the
Doomguard,
Despicable Dreadlord.
Yeah.
is this a Despicable all day?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have an obvious way to clear it, which may mean we'll get a double activation on its ability.
He would almost have to swipe it. And I don't think they run swipe, do they?
No, they don't. This is a living mana turn, and living mana does not look good to him on this turn. Yeah, he is having trouble with it. He's doing a lot of mousing over. I don't think he's on his phone because you're seeing a lot of mouse over. Of course, I also have the Samsung Galaxy card back myself, and I don't even own the Samsung Galaxy. So, I think he has living mana. He's just afraid to push it because he can't clear the.
Oh, another Tar Creeper. And Power of the Wild.
He is going to clear it. So this doesn't give us a clear with the Doom Guard. So are we not gonna, do we just want to widen out our board as much as possible and set up for Bone Mare next turn?
I think so. I think you drop Malkar. I think you drop the Imp, Patches, and the Flame Imp.
So tap first?
Yeah.
And tap, yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Oh, there you go.
now just go wide. Play all your
I
ones.
would drop all 4.
So Flame Imp, Malkazar's Imp. Do we go ahead and Patches?
I think you attack for 2 with Patches.
Or if
2 for
he...
1.
Well,
I think we only need 1.
okay.
I like doing the 1 so the Doom Guard clears it next turn if we have to Doom Guard.
And then
And
Veteran the Imp. The
Yeah.
Malkazar's Imp.
The Malkazar's Imp.
Yeah.
To make any trades awkward.
would have almost held the Patches back just to have another Bone Mare target.
I considered that, but then that's a Bone Mare on 8 and not 7. Because we wouldn't have been able to do that and Bone Mare next turn.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No,
Just put
not
patches
attack
out and
with
not
patches.
attack with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I like this because now we have a solid trade.
Yes.
So clear with the Imp and Bone Mare the 2/1. Or Bone Mare the 2/1 and clear with the 2/1.
I think I liked clearing with the Imp and bone marrying the 2/1.
Okay. And then do we clear the 3/3?
Do we need to clear the 3/3?
I don't think so. I think we can go face.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
think
so
we
either.
go face.
Yeah.
Because right now he has to use his face to clear it. And that's 12 points of damage instead of just 6.
Yeah, and I mean, next turn we're hitting for 10 anyway.
Right.
Yeah, well, we're Doomguard next turn.
I mean, he has to clear this 6/5. He's dead if he doesn't.
Yeah. The thing is, how does he clear it?
Right.
Savage Roar.
Savage
that.
Roar.
Yeah. That still is that still puts him in a bad spot.
Yeah.
He has to use his
he's going to
face.
use his face.
Yeah, he has.
That's
to.
amazing. Love it.
Good. He didn't take the 1/2 poisonous.
So do we slow play or do we push it?
4, 5. I mean, you could draw a card, play the Chain Gang and the Firefly.
I like that. And then next turn, all you have to do is play one card, and you're probably going to be able to play it and cast the Dreadlord at the same
So
time.
go ahead and tap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has
Well,
no cards in hand.
There you go.
That's great.
Yeah.
Just throw it all.
Throw it all.
Except for the Flame Imp, right?
Yeah.
Or Flame Elemental.
Because you rebuild boards better than he does.
Yeah, and he's in a bad spot. He really is. I mean, that was a good draw for him, but still. There's the living mana.
Hey,
We're
you're
gonna-
welcome to chat, Mike Lowe.
Hey, what is up? The guy changes his screen name more than anybody I know. So, Kelliseth, Flame Elemental, and Doomguard?
Yep.
Yep. Play it all.
So, Doomguard into the 3/6.
Yep.
Yep.
The
Along
1/2
with the
into
imp.
the
Yep.
3/1.
Yeah.
And then do we just go face since he's on 4 mana next
yeah,
turn?
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah, you've got to.
We don't clear any of those minions at all?
Nope. Let him do the trading.
Because
Yeah.
he's used 2 Savage Roars already.
Yep.
Yeah. He'll have to use his face,
I mean, he has Mark of
Flame
Lotus.
Elemental, and 2.
The best he can do is +1/+1.
Right.
Right.
And if he draws that, that's 11 damage. You gotta
And he
worry
doesn't
about.
have it.
So
He doesn't
doesn't-
have it.
Look at everything he's having to trade in.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to kill the Doomguard.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's using his face.
He didn't have a choice.
Well, he did, but it wasn't a good. I mean, didn't leave him with good options. So he
Oh,
opts
he
to
didn't.
keep up the 2/2.
that's
Well,
That's
lethal.
lethal.
That's just
That
like,
cost him the game.
yeah.
If he would have killed the 2/2, we had a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is spectacular. Thank you, Dex. All
I love
right.
it. Love it when an aggro deck tries to BM me.
Yeah, I know. It's just I love the ones, the aggro decks that friend me afterwards and get mad because
Out aggroed them.
I aggroed them. Or how dare you play such a cancer deck? I'm like, what? You're doing the same thing. We're the same. Where you're looking at a mirror, brother. Okay, so priest.
Ooh, I like this opening hand. Corsair
Yeah.
to summon patches, coin, veteran, attack for 2.
Dump the Dreadlord.
I actually like the Dreadlord. It's a 4/5, and the priest is going to have a hard time handling it.
That's true.
That's true.
And you
Because
got
if you
coin,
haven't
so-
heard, priests have trouble with 4 attack minions. I don't know if y'all knew that.
That's news to me.
In fact, I would almost be tempted to save that coin.
So do we just open with Flame Imp then?
I think you open with Dread Corsair.
You mean Blood Cell Corsair?
Or yeah, Blood Cell Corsair and patches.
So that doesn't play into Potion of Madness too much?
I want him to use the Potion of Madness.
It's fair.
In fact, at this point, I would say I'm trying to bait out Potion of Madness.
Okay. I can live behind that. I think it's one of the reasons why you don't use the Archerist Veteran, because Patches doesn't kill the Blood Cell Corsair.
So now do you drop both veterans, hit both mobs, and attack for 4?
No.
I honestly like Flame Imp Malchazar's Imp because
I do too.
if he Potion of Madness, he can only kill the minion he took. He can't kill both.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, the priest matchup's kind of
I was say I always, whenever I play a priest, I need to kill them by like turn 6.
yes, but at the same time, you don't want them to use your tools against you too much.
And we didn't have the hand to do it.
No, we didn't. See, he's gonna look for Potion of Madness, but all he can do is pretty much take the patches and kill itself off. He can't kill anything with the patches because he can't take the 3/2, and nothing else has 2 attack. And only the patches has 1 health. Now, if I was playing another Warlock, I would do this differently because obviously they have Defile, and I'm playing right into Defile.
Yes.
He does not like his picks
Yeah.
because he went to go get a Yoo-Hoo and heat up some Hot Pockets. That joke never gets old. Okay, maybe it does.
He probably took the second Dragonfire potion.
Darkshire Councilman?
Yeah.
You
I mean,
just
you're on curve.
it just gets Shadow Word pained though.
Yeah.
Right?
But something's going to get Shadow Word Pain.
That's right.
And it won't be the 3/2.
What would you think about the veteran on patches and then a veteran on
On the
blood
Flame Imp?
cell? On the blood cell.
Okay, we could do that. I think he's got the Shadow Word, the
Or
Potion of Madness.
I think you got Shadow Word Horror.
He could have Shadow Word Horror, but I'm not too mad about Shadow Word Horror, specifically because we have the 3/2 minion. Now, I would have possibly buffed up the 3/2 to a 4/2.
Spirit Lash.
That's fine. That's fine.
Councilman Voidwalker.
I think we Dreadlord.
Yeah, I
Coin
think we coined
Dreadlord?
Dreadlord here.
Okay.
He's 1 turn off of Dragonfire Potion. And again, we have somebody at rank 10 that wants to BM.
Oh, he's rocking the Holy Nova.
That means he is not going tech heavy with this deck, which really doesn't matter because we're not a deck
You
that
want
needs
tap?
to be tech heavy. Yeah, I think tap is the way to go here. So next turn, we can councilman all 3 minions to make him a
Councilman
4/5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
like
think
that.
we hold off.
Yep.
Make him feel like he has to Dragonfire Potion this 4/3.
Yep.
The problem is if he senses this, he'll hold the Dragonfire potion until we do that next turn.
Yeah, this
And
is
Priest of the
probably Big Priest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, I'm only seeing one of.
All right.
I think
Load
we
'em
do
up.
the same plan we were talking about.
Yep, I think we drop it like it's hot.
Well, it is hot. Now we have to pretty much outpace his healing.
Yep.
This guy is like testy. What's up?
There's the potion.
There's the potion.
And that's going to be game.
I think so. Do we Doomguard clear?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't, he's
Yeah.
just going to heal it and keep healing.
Yep.
Yeah. If he's got a death, then
And then tap.
Yep.
yeah.
We have to tap. Pretty much. Oh gosh, if he does not have Anduin or death, there's Anduin. I do think we naked Bone Mare unless we draw one cost minion. We got Kelsa.
Oh, I would Kelliseth and tap.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the just for all you Fred Hearth Coach fans. This is where you tap last, so you
Yeah.
can draw a buffed minion. So this isn't a Fred violation. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think we can win this. But I do want to play it out because he's going to clear the 2/2. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I think Matt at Arms is right. At this point, we really need to draw Gul'dan.
Yeah, Gul'dan wouldn't be terrible. We can buff this to a 6/6 and Soulfire 4/8. Something dies.
I don't like that.
Tap Serenite.
Let's tap and see what we get.
Huh. Do we roll the 50/50s?
Go, Saurus.
Serenite, Soulfire. I hope we can get Soulfire a second time.
I say we probably just concede.
Yeah, let's go to the next game.
All right, hold on. I've got to do it. Okay. I had to. I had to find the odds, all right? That is a tough matchup.
All right, we're 1-1.
One more. We're not going as late as you guys think, I don't think. It's not even 9 yet. We're fine. We're fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, I would say we were going late. I'm just saying that he didn't have the Raza, so it was going to be a long game.
So we already win this matchup because we're Nimsy and he's just plain old Gul'dan.
Yeah. What's up with that? So ditch the Doomguard, keep the veteran and the Malchazar Zimp?
Yep. This is going to be a mirror match, so.
Maybe there is a new. They're calling it Giants Warlock, but it's basically Handlock that's out. Ooh. Yep.
Yep.
Veteran.
Go,
Kelliseth.
Kelliseth.
Yeah.
Do we take the chunk of damage on it though, to set it up for Archer's trade or Kelsa trade?
Yeah.
I don't wanna. I don't care.
Look at this guy at rank 10 with the basic card back. He's just trying to throw us off.
Basic card back, no golden hero. What's up, man?
Oh. Fledgling?
I think so.
I think so. Fledgling and clear.
Well.
Do we take out the Voidwalker with the Imp? Or with Keliseth?
I would say Keliseth to try and draw him into using the Tar Creeper to kill Keliseth.
I think you're right. So we don't do any damage on the Tar Creeper.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh,
Oh, he's getting rid of that as fast as possible.
interesting.
That's actually really good for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you use Keliseth to clear.
Archeress?
And then I would drop my... I'd drop my hand.
Okay.
It's Acarus, not Archerus. There's no R after the A.
All right. Gobble.
It's Cabal. How many times do I have to tell you guys this? God.
Really?
Uh,
Subs a day?
He's looking for answers.
Yep.
Nice.
He needs Defile. He's wanting Defile.
Yep.
Well,
It's okay.
Yeah.
You still pitch it.
Yep.
do we clear the Mistress first
Yeah.
with the Acarus veteran?
Yeah.
Or do we use that?
Yeah.
Do we?
I would. Yeah, I would use the veteran to clear, and then
I mean, that's 2 more points of damage, actually. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because we want to draw cards.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, yeah, we have the 2 imps.
2
out.
imps.
Right.
Exactly.
Thinking just, and there's Steely Dan. We were ways off from Steely Dan, but at least we'll know we'll get a Doom Guard from him. That's fine.
We're
That's
only
actually a
gonna lose
reason
one.
not to use the 2/3.
Yep.
That's actually really good. So,
I think you just keep putting pressure. I think you drop the Dreadlord and go face with everything.
Hold on. I would drop the Dreadlord, I think.
Yeah. So we're gonna drop Dreadlord, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I say we at least trade the 1/1 in because it's gonna die anyways.
I say, yeah, I actually think you trade.
All 3 of the middle ones.
That'll clear it.
Yeah. Yeah. Trade the 3 middle ones and clear it and just send the 6 to face.
Do we put out the Flame Imp?
Yes.
I think so.
There's no reason not to now.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that sets up lethal.
Yeah.
Because
But it was
we were
lethal,
one off
didn't it?
lethal if we didn't. No, it was one off lethal.
Oh, that's
For
right,
next
because
turn.
we're not going Gul'dan next turn.
Yeah.
For some reason.
We can't go down next turn. Yeah.
Oh. This is a long day.
See, this is the slower, more control Warlock. So
Hero
tap,
power.
go face.
Yeah.
Tap. Come on.
Patches.
That works.
That works.
Throw them all out there.
Not lethal, but it's
No.
close.
We're getting there.
We're pretty
He's
much
at 4.
setting. Yeah, I mean, when we can Gul'dan, we have a Doom Guard. So, as long as he doesn't heal past 5.
I was going to
that's
say, he's going to have to clear the board this turn.
Yeah.
There it
Or
is.
he can pop 9. That's a possibility.
All right. Nice. 2-1.
Yeah, and the 1 loss was a unfavored matchup. So, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, it was
I like
good.
this deck.
All right. Let's open some packs.
God, these
Five.
people spectating me. They get the win, they just leave. They don't even say nothing. All right, these aren't your golden packs, is it?
No, these are my
No.
regular packs.
Have you
What?
opened your golden pack yet?
Nope.
Nope. Going to. We're watching. We're gonna
Glad
watch you.
that wasn't a golden kidnapper, though.
Oh, come on. You're just teasing us. Get to the golden pack already.
I'll get
So-
there.
so
Hold your
Spivey-
horses.
Ivy put on Twitter that he saved one of every pack, even all the wild packs,
Uh-huh.
and he doesn't want to open his golden because it'll be the one he's missing.
All right, here we go.
Common, rare, common, rare.
2 rares, 3 commons.
That's not bad. What are your rares?
Counter spell. That's
That's
pretty.
a nice one.
Yeah.
And
Mana Addict.
Mana Addict.
All right.
So cool.
Nice. So, all right. Well, you guys have any last minute thoughts before we wrap up for the night?
I just want to thank chat just for being so active, and some of our regulars, our regular listeners that normally don't catch us live. Thanks for coming in chat, even if you couldn't stay the whole time. Boyd, I did notice that you asked the same question I did, and who that guy standing behind Versika was. Freaked me out too. And that's all I got. Mad at Arms, awesome as always.
Versika.
I didn't see the question of who was standing behind me.
It was a while ago, but it was like rather late in the show.
It was
I was
all
surprised he
capital
was-
letters. OMG, who's
Yeah.
that standing behind Versika?
But it was like we were already deep into BlizzCon news. I was like, it took somebody that long to say something.
So,
I'm looking for it. Hold on.
well, why don't you aim the camera
I wanna
at
see
it?
Oh, there it is. Let's see.
That's even no, move it back, It's even creepier. It's even creepier.
It's life size.
It
Yeah,
has
it's
its own
actually-
head.
Life size.
So,
You know Halloween's over, right? Okay, all right. It's staring at me.
So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. Please hit that subscribe button below on YouTube if you've not done so already, or give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. For more details about our Patreon, you can find that at patreon.com/heropower. Until next week, good gaming.